reaching for a distant star. Don't stop now. Isn't it strange how we're safe at home? Today counting days until the second glow. If you're gonna make a change, you have to let me know. Turn this shit around, just out the top of yours. It's all you need to do. Don't stop now. Reaching for a distant star. Don't stop now. Isn't it strange how we're safe at home? Today counting days until the second glow. If you're gonna make a change, you have to let me know. Turn this shit around, just out the top of yours. It's all you need to do. stop now. Reaching for a distant star. Don't stop now. Isn't it strange how we're safe and home? Till the counting days until a second go. If you're gonna make a change, you have to let me know. Turn this shit around without a doubt. The youngs is all you need to do. It's all you need to do. Don't stop now. Reaching for a distant star. Don't stop now. Isn't it strange how we're safe and home? Till the counting days until a second go. If you're gonna make a change, you have to let me know. Turn this shit around without a doubt. The youngs is all you need to do.
What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning Tottenham. Match preview for Chelsea today. But before we get into match preview, we've got a few headlines to talk about. The running order is we're going to go through the headlines, going to go to a match preview, and then get you guys on to have your say on the game this weekend. Massive game at Stamford Bridge just before the international break. But without further ado, let's get into the first headline, and that is Hugo Lloris has signed a new deal. Spurs have made their first signing of the January transfer window. Do you think they're going to use this as a signing sim?
Yeah, probably. Lucky it's not deadline day, otherwise it would have plastered it everywhere. But look, I'm delighted. We've been calling for the club to get this sorted as soon as possible. Obviously, the news broke last night from Fabrizio Romano that the deal had been signed, and now it's confirmed this morning. And as you can see, let's bring up the statement. This is from the club's official website. Hugo Lloris has signed a new deal. We're delighted to announce Hugo Lloris has signed a new 2.5-year contract with the club, which will run until 2024. Captain of Club and Country World Cup and UEFA Nations League winner, Hugo, 35 years old, has racked up 395 appearances since signing from Lyon in 2012. Already 14th in our all-time appearance list. He'll soon become only the 12th appearance maker to make 400-plus appearances for us in all competitions. And only 2 goalkeepers, Pat Jennings and Ted Ditchburn, have played more for us. Outstanding since returning from a dislocated elbow suffered in October 2019. Hugo's ever present in the Premier League this season and on a run of 67 successive starts in the league back to the 1-1 draw at Burnley in March 2020. During that time, he's written his name in the club record books by becoming the first player to make 300 appearances for us in the Premier League, surpassing Darren Anderton, long-standing record of 299 when he led the team out against Wolves earlier in the season. He's now up to 317. Meanwhile, Hugo's also level with the legendary Steve Perryman on 64 appearances for us in European competition, second only behind teammate Harry Kane. And there's a picture of Hugo Lloris signing his contract. Lovely stuff. Very, very happy. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's got a 2-year deal as well, or 2.5-year deal, as they say, which essentially is a 2-year deal. And hopefully he can carry on his form he's been having for the last couple of years. I think, as the article or the statement rightly says, ever since he's come back for a dislocated elbow, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? Because he did go through a dodgy period for a bit, just after winning the World Cup. He was a bit off his game for a bit.
Drunk driving charges.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah, but Pochettino, I remember saying at the time, once you've achieved like the greatest ever achievement you can in football, sometimes that can have a negative effect on you, especially at Hugo's age. It's like, where do I go from here? Sometimes you start to lose. You can, I don't know about lose your way, but you can take your eye off the ball because you feel like you've done it. And I think that's maybe what happened to Hugo for a period, and maybe that injury kind of gave him a bit of perspective and like, look, I still need to achieve what I need to achieve with Tottenham as well, and I've got a lot of time left in my career if I want to make the most of it. So he's come back from that dislocated elbow, which was obviously, we were there against Brighton, that was a horrific injury, and he's been really on top of his game. He's been near faultless ever since. Obviously, there's always going to be a few mistakes here and there, but I think he's been absolutely brilliant since that injury, and I think personally this season, up there with the best keepers in the league, for sure.
Yeah, completely agree. When you're looking at the best keepers in the league this season, you're looking at Mendy of Chelsea, De Gea of Man United, Ramsdale of Arsenal, Sarr of Wolves, I would even put up there this season. I think that he's definitely in that amongst that company. I think he's been brilliant this season. Like you say, like the statement says, ever since he's come back from that injury, he's been in the upper echelons of goalkeepers, or back in the upper echelons of goalkeepers, shall I say. Brilliant servant to the club, captain of the club for a while now, captain of France, World Cup winning captain, Nations League winning captain, and he's been at Spurs for a long time now. I think it's about 9-10 years. So
legend,
absolute legend of the club. And by the time he leaves, he's going to be here for literally 12 years. So not many players are going to stay here for that long. Not many players.
No, especially this day and age.
Yeah, exactly. So
very rare.
It's very rare. So Hugo Lloris, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted that he signed the contract. I've said it consistently for a while now that if we're going to get rid of Hugo Lloris, it's going to be impossible to find someone that's going to be his level or above his level to succeed him. But now we've signed him up for a 2-year deal. Now we've got 2 years to proper have a deep look for his successor and see what we can come up with. And I think that's the important takeaway from this one. I think when you're looking at his successor, I mean, the only real candidates I can really see are someone like a Dean Henderson, to be honest. I can't really think of many other keepers that can come in and fulfill that role. But at least we've got that kind of 2-year period now where we can actually have a proper look and scout some proper keepers out.
Yeah, and also gives other keepers time to develop and younger keepers right now who you might think are not ready, and then in a couple of years' time maybe they're going to be ready to step in for Hugo. And I think it gives us a bit of time to really do the legwork on. Cause it feels like at the moment we're kind of rushing, kind of looking around, seeing who could replace him, and there wasn't really an outstanding candidate, was there? Wasn't a candidate that kind of screamed at you like, oh, we have to get this guy. So I'm happy that we now got a bit more time, and I'm just happy that Hugo's tied down because I think he's been exceptional, and I think he's got a couple more years left in for sure.
Definitely. There is a keeper in the under-23s, I think it is. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, this guy, who's also a French keeper in the academy, Timothy Lo Tutala. And he's very highly thought of in the academy. Maybe he can be one that can really knuckle down with Hugo Lloris, and Hugo Lloris can act as his mentor or something like that. But he's a big lad, very highly thought of in the academy. He's not even that young anymore, born February 2003. So maybe he could be one that could produce through the academy for us. I mean, that could save us a lot of money if it is, but I still expect us to bring in another keeper.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a teenager then if he's 2003.
He's 18 years old, to be
so
honest,
he's very young still.
Yeah, no, I
Especially
thought he was
keeper.
a bit older than that.
Especially for a keeper, he's very young. So I wouldn't...
He's a French under-19 international, but yeah, I mean, there's a long way to go for that.
I mean, unless he's a Donnarumma, unless he's another Donnarumma who literally started playing games for AC Milan when he was 16. Well,
He got
ridiculous.
promoted to the under-23s this season from the under-19s. So.
Well, it shows he's going in the right direction, but we'll have to wait and see into how he develops. You never know at that age, but for sure. Hopefully Hugo can, him sticking around as well, can help the younger keepers develop, and maybe they could be part of the future as well, for 100%.
Before we move on, Adam William Cahill says, in honour of Hugo, what is the best keeper jersey?
The best keeper jersey?
You know what I like? The best one I like is that orange one with like the snaky patterns on it. I think it was the last season's one.
Last season's one.
I think so. I think it was the orange one with like these kind of like snaky patterns on it.
There's one I really liked actually. I remember we played Man City. I'm trying to remember which game it was, but there was a black shirt. It was a black one we used to have, that Hugo used to wear. I really liked that one. I remember we played Man City in I think it was the league game when we beat them when Bergwijn's debut. I'm pretty sure he was wearing it in that game. And I remember that one. Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, that is.
I like
nice
the black
one. To be
one.
honest, I think our goalkeeping jerseys have been pretty nice. I mean, I like that one first year at the new stadium, and that had like the kind of stadium stuff in the background. That was nice.
Hey, here's a look, in honour of Hugo. How about everyone write in the comments what your favourite ever save was from Hugo Lloris? Want to know what people think?
You know what my favourite ever save was? That one in the Champions League that got like save of the season. Do you remember that
against
one?
Bayer Leverkusen?
Yeah, that
was one of the best I've ever seen.
Insane save.
That was one of the best. I watch it now. I still can't believe it's not a goal.
Yeah.
Like it just looks like a goal.
He rolls over the line with the ball in his.
Yeah, I
arms.
don't know how he does it. He like grabs it and then rolls back. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible for me. The best one I've ever seen was we actually lost 5. I think we lost 4-0 that day to Liverpool. But he made a save from Luis Suarez I've never seen in my life. I think Suarez had a header from inside the 6-yard box, and he somehow, it was like not to mention a Guna, but it was like that Seaman save against Sheffield United. Literally claws it back and then tips it onto the crossbar. I know it was against Liverpool. I remember we lost 4-0 that day, but it was one of the best saves I've ever seen. And I know. What's it called? Yeah, I know it was a bad defeat, but it was incredible save. Incredible. That was probably the best one I've ever seen. Uber penalty, yeah.
Yeah, other big moments. Aubameyang's penalty, like people are saying in the comments.
A number of penalties.
Aguero's penalty in Man City as well. Another moment as well from obviously the documentary when he had that fight with Sonny. And when it went all the way into the dressing room, that just showed leadership qualities from him. And, you know, a lot of people didn't know of Hugo's leadership qualities, and they were like kind of, oh, why is Hugo our captain? And then once the documentary came out, people started to realise... Sorry about that, guys. But what I was saying is the thing that I really liked about that argument that Lloris and Son had, it just like stamped his authority. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Lucas Moura, you know, the way he said it in the changing room. It didn't matter who you are and what stature you are in the squad. You have to work as hard for the team as everyone else. And that what I was really proud about Hugo Lloris for doing. But look, I think that is all we're going to say on Hugo Lloris's contract. I think we're very happy here in the studio. I'm sure all of you guys are very happy out there as well. So Hugo Lloris has signed a new deal until 2024, which gives us good time to look for his successor. So big up Hugo Lloris. Our captain has signed the deal. And let's move on and let's talk about Tanguy Ndombele, because there's been a lot of news coming out over the last 12 hours or so. Fabrizio Romano broke the news as we were leaving the office last night, pretty much saying negotiations in progress for a loan move. PSG could include a buy option, salary coverage now being discussed. He has followed on from that this morning and said Tottenham and PSG will be in talks again in the next hours for Tanguy Ndombele. Loan move. Spurs want 100% of the salary paid until the end of the season with a buy option included. RMC saying Tottenham want PSG to pay 100% of Ndombele's wages. The deal is far from finished. The Telegraph saying PSG has offered midfielder Leandro Paredes in a straight swap deal for Tottenham Hotspur's Tanguy Ndombele. L'Equipe saying PSG believe that signing Tanguy Ndombele would help encourage Kylian Mbappe to commit a new contract to the club as the duo are close. The Tottenham midfielder has told a close family and friends that he dreams of playing for PSG. And finally, Dimarzio, this one's a bit from left field, saying contacts have taken place between Tottenham and Roma over a Tanguy Ndombele and Jordan Verretout swap deal. I'm not too sure about that one, but I think the PSG one.
John Vertu.
I don't really think that one has legs, but I'm talking about the PSG ones sound more credible to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Vertu at the club. I mean, he was a massive flop at Villa, I remember a few years ago. He's done all right in Serie A ever since then, but I mean, at Roma, he hasn't really impressed me too much. I wouldn't want him as a replacement for Ndombele. I don't think that one has legs. Apparently, I read Paredes was offered, but he doesn't want to move. I actually don't mind Paredes. I think Paredes is a pretty good player. I like him. I know he's 25 maybe.
Yeah.
Argentinian international. I think he has a lot of caps for them. He's more of a solid, like he doesn't have the X factor that Ndombele has, you know, with his skills and everything. But he's very solid, very dependable. Has a very good passing range.
27, yeah.
27 now. Decent shot on him. He's a more of a defensive player, Paredes, and he hasn't quite, broke into the team at PSG he's been in and out the team pretty much his whole time there. But he's actually not a bad player.
Yeah,
I quite like him.
Yeah, he's only played 9 games this season. Only played 21 last season. He scored 1 goal in his 4 years at PSG. I don't understand why we don't look at Gigi Wijnaldum. I just don't understand it. Why would we not look at him in a swap deal for PSG? If we're going to look at
32, I think.
Is he 32, Wijnaldum?
Yeah.
But for a 6 month until the end of the season, I think it could be a good option.
Oh, a loan deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, for sure. I think he's a great player. I think he was one of the most underrated players at Liverpool.
31, yeah.
31. I thought he was one of those underrated players at Liverpool when he was there, and I thought he rightfully got the bit of recognition by moving to PSG, a big club. He was nearly at Barca as well, wasn't he? So,
and in his role, he plays for Holland as well. Scores a lot of goals there for Holland.
Yeah, he plays behind the striker there, much more attacking position.
I'm saying he's got a different kind of skill sets. Like he can be that defensive, he can play a box to box, he can be an attacking midfielder.
He's very good dribbler as well.
He's very versatile in that midfield role. Very versatile. So I don't understand why we wouldn't look for a kind of at least to get him in on loan till the end of the season.
Yeah, I guess it depends if he's open to it. Because we all know he wants to leave, but that's the rumours at the moment. He's having a very good time at PSG, and he's looking to leave. But he has only been there 6 months, so whether that's just rushing, whether they're hesitant to rush him out the door, and he would rather just finish the season there, I don't know. He's probably on big wages as well, because he moved there for free, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's one which has any legs or not. I'm not 100% sure, but I for sure would be open to that. But in terms of Ndombele, yeah, I think we definitely want this deal to happen. I think Ndombele definitely would want this deal to happen, but I think the stumbling block would be Tottenham and the wage demands that we want to pay 100%, and whether PSG want to pay that. Yeah, like, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, at least we're negotiating with PSG here and not any other club, because it's more likely PSG will pay it than anyone else, to be honest.
If Mbappe's so close with Ndombele, why didn't he come to Tottenham? That's what I don't understand.
Tom Holland tried that, mate. He tried it.
Yeah, now it's Ndombele's turn. Come on, put your hat in the ring, mate.
Yeah, Ndombele's that's probably why Mbappe doesn't want to join Spurs, because Ndombele's told him all about it.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's what he said. Nah, impossible, mate. But look, as we've said about Ndombele, all the talent in the world, he has never really settled at Tottenham. That's just the truth. He's been here 2.5 years now. And I think a move would do him the world of good, I think, especially a club like PSG. So let's hope we can get this deal sorted. It seems like there's a lot of it's heating up.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what, with Ndombele, it's going to be annoying because he's going to go to France. Let's say he goes to France this January transfer window. I fully expect him to literally set that league alight for the next few months until the end of the season. And then everyone's going to be like, oh, look how good he is, blah, blah, blah. But I don't ever expect to see him in the Premier League again. I really don't.
Has Ndombele failed upwards, do you think?
Failed upwards? What do you mean by that?
Well, he hasn't done well at Tottenham yet. He's getting a move to PSG.
Yeah, he has failed upwards. He has. But, you know, with the talent he has, I mean, I always expected it, to be honest. Always expected it.
Yeah, and what I think, PSG were very heavily linked with him at the time when we signed him, weren't they? So there's always been interest. Obviously, he's French, so he's obviously going to have a big affinity to go there. I think it's best for everyone if it happens, but let's just see. It looks like the wheels are turning in this move. I don't know why they've waited this long to come in for him, but if it's a 6-month loan deal, best for both parties, and hopefully it frees up some money and a space in the squad for us to make some purchases.
Yeah. So let's see how this one plays out. But at the moment, apparently Ndombele and PSG, well, Tottenham and PSG are in negotiations in terms of a loan deal with an option to buy for Tanguy Ndombele. Let's move on to the last news story that we got to today, and that is Adama Traore. Once again, the Telegraph was saying last night that Wolves have rejected an offer of £15 million from Tottenham for Adama Traore, and we've got a few different quotes from reliable sources. I mean, Simon Stone of the BBC saying that Wolves expect Spurs to come back in for Adama Traore, and Ali Gold is saying, I'd be surprised if Spurs don't push and try to get this over the line. I mean, just bloody get it over the line already. I don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, apparently there's only about between a 5 and 10 million difference in what Spurs and Wolves value the player at. So if it's such a small difference, and just get it over the line. What are people waiting for? What are people waiting for?
It's a game of poker, isn't it? That's what Levy lives for. He lives for shaving those few million off. That's exactly why he'll wait to the last second to get it done. That's what he's done his whole career. That's what he'll continue to do. If Wolves ask him for 20 million, he'll bid 15. That's how he does it. He won't let them get what they want. He will never settle for not. He's like, in The Apprentice when they're doing those deals in the market, and it gets to the end of the day. You ever seen The Apprentice? And it gets to the end of the day, and they obviously set a price at the beginning of the day. Then at the end of the day, go, all right, just 1p off anything, just like £1 off, like just come on, just I need
me something
off. I need something off. That's like Levy when it gets to the end of the window. He's like, look, I'm not paying what you want. Just look, give me £1 off, give me 1 mil off, just 1 mil. Come on, and then that's how he like negotiates like that. I feel. So I feel like he'll wait till the last minute to get every single pound off that he can. It sounds like from what people said, George Banners was saying yesterday, that Tottenham feel like they're in a strong enough position that they can just wait for Wolves to lower their demands rather than go up to what they want. And to be honest, the thing is, look, we've got Chelsea on Sunday. Obviously, we're not going to be making any signings before then. So after that, there's an international break.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
So in terms of like game-wise, there's no rush from that sense.
It's only no rush because they've let it get on for so long.
Yeah, correct. They could have. I don't understand why. I can't quite get why it's 21st of Jan and we're only starting to move now. I don't get it. I don't know why we don't try and do it earlier in the window. I don't know why the whole PSG thing, well, that hasn't happened early in the window. Adama should be wrapped up first few days of the window, I think. I don't know why we waited so long, but this is how we like to do things, isn't it? We like to leave it late and just see how the market moves before we make our decision.
It's frustrating, but at the end of the day, if we get 2 or 3 targets from now until the end of the window, are we going to complain too much?
Depends who they are, but no.
Yeah.
No, we won't. It sounds like we're starting to move. It does. It sounds like from what we're hearing now that we're starting to move.
I think if we get 2 or 3 signings from now until the end of the window, I'm going to be extremely happy, obviously. Obviously, if they're good targets. If we're going to bring in another Louis Saha and what's his name, Ryan Nelson, then obviously we'll be very angry. But with these targets that's being spoken about, I think we have to wait and see still until the end of the window. There is only one game now until the end of the transfer window, which is this weekend, so it's too late to sign players, which is probably a disgrace in itself. But we are in this situation, so let's see how it all plays out. But it looks
20,
as though,
20 million for Adama is not terrible.
Yeah, but it looks as though it does feel like this deal's going to get done, doesn't it?
Oh.
But I've said that since the beginning of the window.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've classic Tottenham. We've opened the bid of 15 million when they asked for 20. That's just like class. That's like the Levy playbook there. Like literally, you're looking to save 5 million. Like, come on, just get it over the line, man. They want 20 million. Pay the 20 million. Look, unless who said it was 10 million a part of Sky Sports? So maybe Wolves are asking for 25. If that's the case, then
there's a few different numbers being thrown about. Some saying 5 million apart, some saying 10 million apart. So I'm not actually sure which is the real one.
If the price is 20 million, just pay the money, man. Like honestly, there's really not much in it, and we can get him through the door. But I reckon we'll leave it to the last moment to get, and then we'll probably pay like 18 or something. That's what will happen. I'm telling you.
So classic. But that is the situation with Adama Traore. It looks as though we will come back in for Adama and try and get this over the line before the end of the window.
Yeah, but I'm excited by it. Like people say, people asking me, am I going to be excited by this transfer? He's an exciting player. He gets you off your seat, whether or not. Like, yes, he'll frustrate you, and yes, sometimes it'll be annoying when he goes when we'll have an attack and it'll break down or he'll pick the wrong option. But one thing's for sure: when he gets the ball on the halfway line and he's running, your bum's gonna be off your seat. That is a guaranteed. It's definitely something to be excited about, and I'm looking forward to what Conte can do with him.
All right, well, let's move on. That is the deal for Adama. That's the story for that. Let's move over to the Chelsea-Tottenham preview. Big game this weekend in the Premier League just before the international break. Chelsea not in the best of ways at the moment. Tottenham, not doing that bad, not doing that great. Away form, we've got 2 wins in a row now away from home. When you're looking at our away form,
in the Premier League, we're going pretty well.
Yeah, we are going pretty well. Nine games since Conte has come here, 6 wins, 3 draws. But it's just about the way we're playing our football at the moment. I mean,
well, last game was great.
Yeah, I was going to say in the last 5 games in the Premier League, probably before the Leicester game, you would say that we're not playing well in the Premier League. After that Leicester game, very impressive display, in my opinion. If we can kind of take that display from Leicester and use it in this game against Chelsea, I actually think we've got a chance this weekend.
Well, definitely, and you've got to consider as well that both games against Chelsea, I know it's very likely we'll have the same back three as we had against same back three we had against Chelsea in the boat over 2 legs. But one key difference I'm hoping is that we'll probably have Reguilon on the left, and it's a big part of how we play, having those fullbacks and having that defensive solidity there as well, and a threat on the break to go forward. So that is going to make a big difference when thinking about this game. Obviously, Harry Kane on top of his game at the moment. I think he had a great game in the second leg against Chelsea. I thought he had a great game against Leicester. So he's definitely one who that we're going to have to hope steps up in this game at Stamford Bridge. It's going to be definitely a different kind of different challenge. But definitely to get, although we got thoroughly outplayed in the 2 games in the Carabao Cup, this is a different game now. hopefully we don't shoot ourselves in the foot early on in the game like we did in both legs. You know, both games, Tanganga early on, wasn't it? It was in the first few minutes, wasn't it? He gave the ball away and they scored. And what was the other one against in the second leg? Golini's mistake, that was what, 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in?
Literally, yeah.
So if we can hopefully not shoot ourselves in the foot in the opening 15 minutes or so, keep it tight, make sure we're in the game, then for sure I think that this game could be very even, definitely considering how Chelsea are playing at the moment, because I can't see them being super confident that they're going to win. They're going to kind of, I can see them bursting out the traps, but if we can ride the storm for the first 15-20 minutes, then I think if we get settled in the game, there could be a point in there for us. I think it's still going to be very tough to win, because Chelsea is they haven't lost many games, even though they're in bad form.
No, but I think that when you're looking at their home form specifically, in their last 5 home games, right? Well, let's say in the last 3 actually home games in the Premier League, they've drawn all 3.
Yeah,
in the Premier League: Liverpool, Brighton, and Everton. Before that, then they beat Leeds. Before that,
yeah, but Liverpool they played very well.
Pardon?
Liverpool, they played very well.
They did play very well, but they're letting Brighton come to Stamford Bridge get points. They're letting Everton, who just got their manager sacked, come and get points. I mean, we should be, with their form, we should be going into this and literally trying to target their weaknesses and getting points from this game. We really should. We should have confidence to go and get a point up from Stamford Bridge this weekend. No matter what our form is at Stamford Bridge, yes, I know it's been very poor and we've won 1 game there literally in my lifetime or something. But with that game against Leicester, should be giving us confidence to go and thinking we can get a point this weekend.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
I think we should definitely be confident that we can. We're definitely confident we can get a point, considering how we're playing, how we played the last game, and how Chelsea are. But you just know Chelsea could always step up at any time, don't you?
Especially against us.
And the team they have, the players they have, at any moment, you know, maybe he'll tweak the formation, he'll surprise. Tuchel's a great manager.
Yeah.
So I know things are not going great for him at the moment in terms of not wins-wise, but at any moment, you know, they could switch things up and they could. I'm under no illusion that they're going to turn up on Sunday.
What do you put it all down to, this bad form from Chelsea? Because when you cast your mind back to the back end of last season, they look unbeatable at times. They really did. They go on and win the Champions League, beating Man City in the final. They start the season. They signed Lukaku. They start this season like an absolute house on fire. They look like they're going to be definitely a shoo-in for the title, or definitely in the conversation towards the end of the season. What is it about Chelsea? What's happened to them?
Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? I can't really put my finger on why they. I guess you can maybe say, you know, Chilwell's got a long-term injury now. Reece James has been out for a while. Their fullbacks, a bit like Spurs, they're a very, very big element to how they play. And with them being out, it's kind of blunted them a bit on the wings, and that means that a lot of the focus now is in the central areas. And if you can, a bit like Tottenham, if you can blunt them in the central areas, then they don't quite have the threat they did before on the wings. Whereas before, I remember a game against Brentford where they were struggling big time in the central areas to really impact the game. And then Chilwell pops up with a goal at the back post and they win the game 1-0. Like, I think at the moment it's a bit of a weird one because they keep taking the lead and then they can't get the second goal and they keep conceding an equaliser late on. That seems to be the pattern for Chelsea at the moment. A bit like Spurs last year a lot of the time. So whether he keeps saying, Tuchel, that Chelsea need to stop playing the result and play the game because they keep taking the lead and then sitting on it and conceding. So it's very strange why it keeps happening. The level of player they have, it shouldn't. Obviously, the whole Lukaku situation probably hasn't helped, although he was coming back and scoring goals. But again, last couple of games, he hasn't been quite on it, has he, Lukaku? So maybe it's just a case of switching formation. Maybe it's a case of they need to freshen things up a bit. And I don't doubt on Sunday they'll come up with a plan against us tomorrow. No doubt about it. So I wouldn't be too excited about their loss of form because they're just a team that can turn it on.
Yeah, completely agree. When you're looking at the Chelsea side and the players that they have out this weekend, I mean, obviously we've spoken about the fullbacks in Reece James and Chilwell. Chalobah's out, Mendy's at the AFCON, and Christensen out in the defence. So, I mean, Rudiger always has a good, well, not always, but Rudiger has had a good season this year as he did last year. Alonso is one that you could probably target as one of their weaknesses, but he always has a good game against us, doesn't he?
Unfortunately so. And it'll be interesting to see who Tottenham put up against him, because obviously both games was Emerson. But with Emerson being hauled off at half-time, do you reckon he puts Doherty back in? It's going to be interesting.
That's the question, isn't it? That's the question.
I wouldn't.
So sure.
I wouldn't. I would stick with Emerson if I was him. But I have a feeling...
I would play Adama there.
Well, we don't have him, unfortunately. But I've got... Wow, we lost our 5 games against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Head-to-head. Bloody hell.
No, we drew 0-0 at the 5th.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, we don't have a very good record against Chelsea recently,
we haven't scored against them in 5 games.
Wow. And we haven't beaten them. We haven't beaten them at the new stadium.
No. We haven't beaten them for Stamford Bridge since that Dele Alli and Ericsson game.
That was 2018, so nearly 4 years ago now. So our recent form against Chelsea suggests they usually have the upper hand in this one.
So our last win against them was that one at Wembley when Son did that mazy run. Is that their last win against them?
Yeah.
That's mad. That's mad.
That was in 2018.
So many times since then as well.
Yeah, that was in 2018. So that was a long time ago. Obviously, Son's not going to be back for this one as well. You got to remember, as much as we were great against Leicester, still, in terms of attacking options, we were so heavily reliant on Kane. And if they shackle Kane better than Leicester did, which I'm sure they will, it's going to be very hard for us to attack in the same way. Because literally, I would say 85% of our attacks against Leicester was going through Kane.
Well, we need Lucas Moura to step it up because he wasn't that great against Leicester. And we need 2 avenues of attack if we're going to play those 2 up top. So we need both of them to have a really good game as well as the fullbacks.
That's another thing as well, very crucial that we do this in this game. In both legs against Chelsea, we played a 3-4-3, and that was a mistake, I think. That was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. We got thoroughly dominated in the central area. Yeah. Chelsea controlled both games, and it wasn't... And we were way too easy to play against. Against Leicester, we played the 3-5-2, and I think we have to persist with that. We have to persist with that.
Agreed.
We need to get as much solidity, and even if it means playing Højbjerg, Skip and Winks all in the centre, making sure they're battling, making sure they're making it as difficult as possible for Chelsea to build up any
into a dogfight. We need to be aggressive. We need to go at them. We need to literally put them under pressure for the whole 90 minutes of the game. And Skip and Højbjerg in the middle can do that. They can do that.
And it will be. First of all, Skip Højbjerg, and Winks can put, and recently he's been putting a foot in as well, and it will give greater protection for the back 3 as well. So the likes of Tanganga, who was maybe struggling, hopefully, I'm pretty sure he's going to play on Sunday. Hopefully he won't be as exposed and he won't be struggling as much with the more protection in the centre.
Would you play Bergwijn in this game?
Instead of Lucas, potentially. I think I would, because I think his attributes means he's actually more likely to hold the ball up, and he's more likely to bring other players into play. And I think he showed that against Leicester. And one great thing about Bergwijn, which he does and Lucas doesn't, is you saw it with the 3rd goal. He runs in behind. Yeah. He will make that run, and he's a ball you can find. Lucas doesn't do that. He does it a bit, but not as much as a player with his speed should. Agreed. He likes the ball to feet. He likes to take people on. He likes to beat players. Whereas Bergwijn can do that, but he will more likely to, with his back to goal, shield the ball. He's much better at shielding the ball than Lucas Moura, and he's much more likely to run in behind and exploit any space Chelsea leave. So I think I might sign him.
I'm worried that he might try and go for Bergwijn, Kane, Lucas up top because of Bergwijn, what he did on the week, and because obviously Lucas Moura's had a brilliant season. I'm worried he might still go for the 2 in midfield with those 3 up top. I'm
worried about that as well, but I'm hoping he saw. The reason I would also not do that is because if we do start the 3-4-3, you're pretty much starting with all your weapons. And if it doesn't go right, if we're losing 1-0, who are you going to bring on to change it? At least if we got one of Lucas or Bergwijn on the bench, there's an option there to inject some energy.
Brian Hill went for a nice run at Stamford Bridge last time.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's still going on about it. Exactly. Oh, we won dribble and a cross, which didn't lead to a goal. Great. No, I'm not saying, look, I've got nothing against Brian Hill. I don't think he's the one to come on and really change the game for us right now. So that's why I would 100% play a 3-5-2. And you got to remember, for us, a draw is a good result on Sunday. Considering what the table looks like, Chelsea definitely need the win more than we do. A defeat, even a defeat on Sunday, is not that detrimental to us. Although it'll be a blow, but because I never want to lose this game, and league table, gives a chance for Arsenal to overtake us again and all that kind of stuff. But we got to set up and know a draw is a good result, I think, and I think Conte will know that. And it's not to say we don't attack and just go backs against the wall, no, but you got to make sure you're defending right first, and be smart be a bit pragmatic.
I think Chelsea struggle when teams try and come at them. I think that's been clear over the last couple of weeks. I think if we're going to get anything from this game, we need to be so aggressive with them. We need to go for them. We need to go at them. But I'm worried that Conte is going to look at this as a must-not-lose game and not do that, and kind of maybe sit back a little bit. And I think if we sit back and invite them onto us, I think we could be asking for trouble.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Maybe you're right. I just think we have to. But then again, if we can draw them out, allow them to leave a lot of space on us, and then if we can hit them with Bergwijn and Kane in behind, that could be our best avenue to success. I think I would start Bergwijn on Sunday if I was him. I don't know if he will. Yeah, instead of Lucas.
The thing is, yeah,
up front, because Bergwijn in a 2 up top looks really good. I really like that.
It's true.
And I think
I'd be the same.
He's much more suited to that role than Lucas.
He might go for Lucas, though.
I think he will go for Lucas. I think he will, but I would go for Bergwijn.
Yeah.
Not just based on what I saw on against Leicester. Obviously, it's a lot based on that, but I think recently he's been playing well, and I think he's just much more suited in terms of physicality and his ability to run in behind than Lucas is. So it'll be interesting to see what he does, and also it'll be interesting to see what he does on the right back situation. Those are the two big selections, because I do think he'll go with a 2. I believe that. I think against Leicester, he could have gone with a 3 and he didn't. He went with a 2 because he believed that's the best way forward. And I think so I think most positions are wrapped up. I think it's the right back position and the one up front. Those are the 2 ones. I'm not 100% sure which one he'll go for.
In terms of the Chelsea side, I mean, who's impressed you the most? I mean, bring up this graphic, the ones to watch first and
9
foremost.
goals for Jorginho.
If Jorginho's got 9 goals, I mean,
I think they're all
from penalties.
Yeah, they're all penalties.
9 penalties this season. That's nuts. For me, Mason Mount has been highly impressive this season. I think he's starting to add the goals and like regular assists to his game. I think he stepped it up a notch from last season. I think for me, Mason Mount has been one of the shining lights for them this season.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a bit odd because against who was it? Their last game against City, he didn't start him, which I was really surprised.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't start him at all, and I was very. It was very strange. Apparently, Mason Mount wasn't very happy with that, but he's been brilliant. He's such a versatile player as well. He can play on the left, the right, in the centre, and also in a centre mid as well. So he's really shown his versatility, and he's definitely one who's developed into a really good player for Chelsea. Really strong, both feet as well, left foot, right foot, can score, can assist. Got a really good shot, got an eye for a pass. So he's going to be one that we're going to have to keep quiet. They've got so much talent, though, in one-on-one situations. You got... I know they got injuries and stuff, but you got like Hudson-Odoi, who's brilliant dribbler, lots of pace.
Player, Hudson-Odoi.
Although he's another one who needs work on his output. He's one you got to be careful of. You got Kai Havertz, who scored against us in the first leg. He's one who makes late runs in the box. He's hard to track. Against you got Ziyech, who didn't go to the AFCON. He scored against Brighton last time out, and he's one where if you give him any sort of space in around the penalty area, he can hurt you. Obviously, Lukaku, if he comes into form, he can bully you, and that he's one I worry about because I feel like in this, although things haven't gone right for him of late, he knows a good performance against Tottenham and everything's forgotten.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm worried about. He's really going to step up in this game.
What's gone on there with Lukaku? I just don't understand the whole situation.
It's a very strange one.
He comes in, he's the happiest guy in the world. He's like, yeah, I'm coming back to my boyhood club. I've supported Chelsea my whole life. I want to be here for the rest of my career. What's happened?
I think he claims that Tuchel has changed the way they've played. And it doesn't suit him as well. that he claims that he came in thinking it was going to be one way, and it turns out it's they've played a different kind of way, and he's not happy about it. He's been left out quite a bit. I know he came back, he had an injury, but then he came back, he was being left out a lot. But Tuchel has been clear. Recently he said Lukaku is not a problem whatsoever. He's one of the solutions. So he's very adamant that Lukaku is a big part of his team and everything. I don't know what's gone so wrong with him and Chelsea.
The need for Lukaku to come out like he did and start running his mouth like he did? I mean, I'm happy because it's disrupting the Chelsea camp. I mean, I'm very happy with that situation, but I just don't get this whole thing. He seems like a bit of an idiot to me.
Yeah, he spoke to the Italian press, and then they sat on it for a couple of weeks, and then they released it all on one moment. And I don't know what his thinking was. It was very silly from his point of view. He's not getting any moved into Milan in this January. We'll see about the summer, but I don't know about that as well, because they paid so much money for him. Yeah. Like, are they Inter Milan going to pay it back? Probably not. And I can't see it being a situation where they want to loan him, or just, it's only been 1 year, not even. So he's going to have to be at Chelsea for another couple of years at least, I would say.
Yeah.
So I think for him to do that was very, very strange. I think he felt that he left Inter Milan under circumstances which maybe he was a bit rushed out the door because of the money that they needed. And he said he felt that he didn't kind of have the goodbye that he would have wanted, and he didn't really want to leave in the first place. And now the Inter Milan fans hate him, and now things aren't quite working out at Chelsea, and he misses going to Inter Milan. So it's just a situation where he feels like things would have panned out differently, but unfortunately they panned out how they are, and he's got to deal with it. And it's a bit annoying actually from a Tottenham fan point of view. I'll tell you why, because we were about to sign Martinez, right? And this deal to Chelsea for Lukaku to Chelsea stopped our deal for Martinez going through pretty much. We had a deal agreed, that's what everyone's saying, and then they agreed that, and Chelsea came in, agreed a deal with Lukaku. And they decided, look, we'll sell Lukaku and keep Martinez because Martinez is younger and he can maybe have a bit more value, can grow in the future. And now it's come out that Lukaku never wanted to leave, and he wished he stayed, and the deal was not working out. So it's like, well, you shouldn't have done it, and we could have just got Martinez. It's really annoying.
Yeah, and on the back of that, Martinez signed a new contract at Inter Milan, staying for the foreseeable future. It is fairly annoying. Chelsea's screwing us over once again,
and it hasn't even helped them that much.
How do you see the game going this weekend?
It's hard to know what Chelsea's going to turn up, isn't it? That's the real truth.
I think they love playing against Tottenham. They love playing against Tottenham. Their fans will always be up for it. They hate us more than anyone else. They're going to bang on in the dressing room that this is a massive game and we need to turn up for this one. So I have no doubts they're going to turn up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think it's going to be very, very tough. I think they're going to come flying out the blocks. I think they're going to try and hit us early like they did in both legs. And it's on us to make sure we ride that storm. I think we should play three in the middle, clog up the central areas, make sure it's as difficult as possible for Chelsea to get that advantage there. Because actually, as we've said, on the wings, with James and Chilwell out, they're not as strong as they would have been before. So if we can clog up the central areas and make it difficult, then I think that's where we can get our most joy, especially making it difficult for them. So I can see it being a very close game. As long as we don't concede early, I reckon we can nick a draw from this game. I can see us getting a few moments where we're able to hurt them, and especially if Bergwijn's there or Kane can be on top of his game. I'm certain that we can have a few moments. So I think we can come away with a draw here, especially how they're playing at the moment. But if Chelsea do hit us early and we kind of crumble, then it could be another bad day for us.
Yeah, we need to keep it tight for the first 20 minutes at least. I mean, since Conte's come here, there's been a kind of knack of Spurs being slow starters in games. I think the first 10, 20 minutes, we kind of felt our way into games. But once we do get into games, we're all right and we are quite solid. But
it's important as well, if we do lose, let's not freak out.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, of course, this is a Chelsea away. It's a free hit. You know, we never win at Chelsea away. We hardly ever get a draw at Chelsea away. I'm looking at this as a bit of a free hit. I mean, I'm not going to get too angry if we lose. But
thankfully, because
obviously we can get get something from this game, though. I really do.
Obviously, a lot depends on the manner of the defeat, but thankfully, because of the 3 points at Leicester, it now means this game isn't an essential game where we have to get points. We can afford to drop points here and still have everything to fight for going into the season. So that's really positive. Obviously, we shouldn't give up, and we shouldn't surrender the points. We should believe we can go in there and win, definitely. But we have to be in the knowledge as a fan base and not to completely freak out and lose our way just because of a defeat here at Chelsea, because that can happen. And I'm hoping for a draw. I think we can nick a draw from this game, and that'll be a great point. But let's see how it goes.
So what's your prediction?
1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 1-1 as well. I'm going to go for 1-1. Hopefully we can open the scoring, because I think if we go 1-0 down, it will give them a lot of confidence and they can shut up shop like they know they can.
It'll be interesting to see if we do take the lead, how things go.
Yeah, if we take the lead, it could get very interesting.
Because Chelsea aren't used to being. I know against Liverpool, I think Liverpool took the lead in that game, and then Chelsea hit them back and were 2-1 up by half time, I remember. And then Liverpool got an equaliser in the second half. But most of the time, the pan goes, Chelsea take the lead, they sit on it, and then they get hit late on with an equaliser. Yeah. That's happened a few times now. So if we do take the lead early on or in the first half, it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea react to that.
Definitely. But I want to know your score predictions in the comment section. That is our match preview. Apparently, there's been a Hugo Lloris interview with Ledley King.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that now.
A few snippets from it. I'm just going to read out. I thought they're quite interesting. Hugo Lloris says, "In the next 2 years, I will make sure we find another person for the next 10 years." And I love that.
Well, there you go. That's what we've been saying about, and that's
Lloris
great.
It's going to be very central to finding the successor.
That's fantastic news.
Which is great news.
I trust him for sure, and I'm sure he'll be. Maybe he can come back as a coach after his playing days are done.
Yeah, and he says the important thing for me, the relationship with the fans. I felt the last few months the support was even more than before. The decision was really easy for me to sign that contract. And then the other quote here is, "I want to feel the pain when I lose. I want to feel the pain when I draw, and I want to feel the happiness when I win. That is my motivation every day."
Love it.
God, I love Hugo Lloris.
It's interesting. There was a Spurs ITK a month ago said Lloris and Kane will both sign contracts.
Yeah, well, let's hope that's one
you never know.
down the line. Let's hope the other one comes as well. All right, so I think that is all from the clips. I think it's time to get some people on. Who have we got coming on first?
Mikey and Leela. Hello.
Hey guys.
How are you doing?
Hey,
you alright?
Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Leela. How are we doing?
Leela.
Oh, I'm Leah, not Leela.
Leah. Oh, sorry, it says Leela.
How you doing?
Apologies. It says Leela on the name thing. Leah.
You cunt. I'm all good.
Mikey,
It says Leah there.
You've done her dirty there, Mike.
There it is.
Mikey, at least get your girlfriend's name right. Come on.
Oh, no, I typed it in properly. It's the editors in the live chat that spelled it wrong.
Editors are foolproof, mate.
People in the back end here never make mistakes.
Exactly.
Well, I saw them
Mistake-proof.
retyping it on the live.
Yeah, thank
No,
you.
No. So,
Mike and whoa, nice to have you both on. Hope you're all doing
Yeah.
well. Look, first of all, Hugo signed out for another 2 years. What are your guys' thoughts?
that's
Yeah, there
really
you go.
good. That's really good. I'm so happy with that. It's really good to know
He's
that
amazing.
our captain. I mean, actually, you know, quick side note. A lot of the UK press articles seem to think that Harry Kane's our captain. Whenever they talk about Captain Kane. And I'm like, well, it's Hugo Lloris, but I'm so happy that the captain signed. He's a very unifying presence in the. Even if he's like his English is brilliant, so he's a very good keeper to have, and if he's going to get involved, like you guys said, in the.
As a coach.
If he's going to get involved as like in a coaching role after his contract is over, then that's really good for us, because I'd love to see him stick around and be our goalkeeping coach for years to come, because at the club he's a very well respected name and a World Cup winning captain no less. So it's good to have him back.
Leah, you a big fan of Hugo?
Yeah, he's amazing. I think it was really important for him to sign that contract. Like, I think he's the true captain of Tottenham. He's an an
Incredible
amazing
leader.
leader.
Yeah,
He's amazing. I really like him. I do.
What
an
are both
incredible
of your most favourite Hugo Lloris moments at Spurs?
I'm not a Spurs fan, so I can't talk about this one.
Who do you support?
I watch.
PSG.
PSG.
PSG. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
So-
we've got
so
some
you-
questions for you in a bit.
Yeah, we'll have some questions for you in a few minutes. But Mikey,
All
what's
right,
your
so-
favourite Hugo Lloris moment?
All right, so my favorite Hugo Lloris moment. I know it's well. First of all, I remember his passion against when he was screaming at Son for not tracking back. It shows the passion that he has. That's one that stands out to me. But I think my favorite Hugo Lloris moment would be, there's probably his penalty save against Aubameyang. That sticks out to me. That because Aubameyang was taunting him, they were getting so cocky, and Lloris pulled the rabbit out the hat and saved us. And just his many saves in the derby have made us. His many saves in the derby have gotten us more than a few points. So that's probably his heroics in the derby have been my favourite moments of Hugo.
And that save probably got us top 4 that year, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
I think so, yeah, because it was the final year we qualified for the Champions League. I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so
Better
let's
times.
move on. Let's talk about Tanguy Ndombele now. Obviously, it's rumoured that PSG and Tottenham are in negotiations now, including a loan move for Tanguy. Let's start off with you, Leah. Do you want Tanguy Ndombele at PSG?
I don't think we need him. I don't think it's necessary. I really don't want him there. No,
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
I've
I
spoken.
don't think it's necessary. Honestly.
I've spoken more than a few times about how I was at the Spurs Morecambe game. I booed him off the pitch as well as most of the other fans. I've expressed my views on Ndombele time and time again, and Leah pretty much has the same. His work ethic's not good enough, and PSG have a stacked midfield.
Yeah,
already.
I don't think he'll just warm the benches. It's not necessary to get him.
I think it's pretty much the same situation at Tottenham. Only he'll just have less of an impact because PSG don't play. I mean, I guess it's a reunion with Pochettino, but I'd love to get him out. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to get him out, but I don't think PSG want him because there was rumors that they wanted a swap deal for Leandro Paredes, but those rumors were quickly dispelled by a reliable source.
Yeah,
but,
Paredes needs to stay in PSG.
but,
Do you like Paredes?
yeah.
Do you think is Paredes a good player, Leah? Do you like Paredes?
Yeah, I think Paredes is a good player, not the best, but he's good enough for PSG. He needs to stay. That's what I'm saying. Shut up.
Okay.
So, Mikey, would you like to burden your girlfriend here with Tanguy Ndombele for the rest of the season?
If it means getting his wages off our books and freeing up more money for signings that we're probably not going to make, then yeah, I'd love to do that.
Wait, Leah, are you a fan of Are we causing rifts here?
I think we're causing a domestic here after the after this call.
Are you a fan of Pochettino, Leah? Do you like Pochettino?
No.
Mikey,
How
what's going
dare
on
you.
here?
I didn't know this. How dare you?
I like Pochettino at Tottenham. He's not good for PSG. He can't handle PSG. So no, we need to get him out. We need Zidane. We don't need Pochettino.
No, he's top of the league.
I know he is, but still, the PSG are not playing their best right now. Even when Tottenham league, let's be honest, it's Ligue 1. We don't have much.
He still lost it last year.
You say it's Liga, but you've brought in Lionel Messi. What's he done?
Bro, that's a fact,
That's a fact. I mean, we're not doing the best because of Pochettino. I'm blaming it on the manager.
How dare you?
That is
Well, it's our
harsh.
Poch. You can't. How are you saying that against Pochettino?
I will have no Pochettino slander on this channel.
Pochettino is a good manager. He's not for PSG.
We reached the Champions League final before you hold that.
Mikey, you need to give her a history
Yeah.
lesson on Pochettino.
I'm already in the process. No, because I would admit Pochettino at PSG doesn't seem like the right fit. He's done his best work when he's taken over a club with no real ambition, and then pushed up like his project at Southampton when he took him from a lower half team, and then with Tottenham when we were faltering after the years of Sherwood and Villas-Boas and stuff. So I think for Pochettino, because of the egos at PSG, because at Tottenham he had a couple of he was a unifying presence, and PSG have a lot of he's got the Icardi situation. You've got to manage Messi. You've got to manage Kylian Mbappe, Neymar. I don't think Pochettino is the right manager to hold those characters together, like maybe Zidane did when he managed Bale, Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, etc.
That's why we need
So I
Zidane.
think maybe that's what she's trying to say. Otherwise, but you will not take away Pochettino. You will not do that.
Mikey, Sunday, Chelsea away. Are you confident of getting
Oh.
something?
No,
If
he's
all
not.
right, I will admit the Leicester result was key. I came on the post-match fan show. I wasn't planning to come on to the shows while I was here, just so I could I was watching. Don't get me wrong. I was always watching, but I didn't want to. I wasn't going to join because I don't have a particularly good internet situation. But luckily, it's holding out for now. But after that Leicester result, I had to come on, and I knew that you guys. Like, what a win. I know you guys were at the game. Actually, Ben, you were in ISO, but Sim and Brian were at the game, and it was
I wasn't in
unbelievable
isolation.
limbs. Pardon?
I wasn't in isolation.
So why didn't you go?
I just had some commitments I had to fulfill.
Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, sorry, my mistake then. Oh, of course you're here. Anyway, yeah. I know that the Bergwijn coming on and scoring those winners was amazing, and I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Bergwijn start and give Lucas Moura a rest, because Conte was talking about starting Bergwijn as a more central option, and I know he's been starting Kane and Lucas, and we know Son won't be fit until the game after the international circuit breaker. So I'd love to see Bergwijn start instead of Lucas. I know Lucas is very much adored, and I know that he's been really good for us this season, but I still love to see Bergwijn start. And the actual result, I'm not confident, because we've played Chelsea twice and lost both times, more so from individual errors than from actual Chelsea playing well. But they rightly deserve their wins, and so I don't think Conte will come out with a passion to go for the game. You said he fear he might play a defensive system, and I think he will.
He will.
So yeah, I don't see us taking much from this game, unfortunately.
Score prediction?
I'm gonna go. I think we will score, but I'm gonna go for
2-1.
2-1 to
Same,
Chelsea.
actually.
Unfortunately,
2-1 loss. Are you
Because-
thinking the same, Leah?
Yeah, I am. Or 1-0 to Chelsea.
All right.
sorry
Well,
guys. I'd love to be more positive about it, but we've lost twice to them already this month. If we do win, it'll be a
understandable.
consolation win. I know take every game as it comes, but it's Chelsea. They're kind of our bogey team. We can't seem to string a result together against them. So yeah.
all right. Big up, Mikey. Big up, Leah. Thanks
Nice
for coming
one,
on
guys.
today.
Thanks, guys.
Keep the faith with Pochettino. Keep the faith
Exactly.
with
Don't turn on
Pochettino.
him. Come on.
No,
He's
yes.
our Pochi.
We'll speak to you very soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
That was Mikey and Leah. Is there who
Nice
else is
double act.
coming on? No one
Oh,
else
is
is
that it?
waiting. I think that is it, I guess, for today. We'll be back very soon with some more content for you guys. Predict the Prem, match preview, and predicted lineup. We'll be with you tomorrow. And we've got other clips from this stream coming up today as well. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you all very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.
come on, you Spurs.